Also, the commentating makes the stream should be up.
All right, sorry for the technical difficulties there, but we are live and you should be hearing audio now, so this is great. We've got a race between brightwolfz and Pikapals going, about 10 minutes in so far, with a couple of good finds there in Kakariko and south of Hyrule. So we're picking up with Pikapals, picking up again in Tower Small Key. I'm joined by DM Stewart, my co-commentator.
Howdy, howdy. And we've got brightwolfz down in, we've got them both in desert now.
Yep, brightwolfz doing an agonist cave check.
I've seen many a run that has failed because someone didn't check Agana's cave.
Oh, absolutely. That's definitely a troll spot.
Ice Palace small key. And Pikapals heading over to do Rufus Xavier Sarsarilla's hut and maybe into Eastern Palace, while brightwolfz is heading down to do the Mini Moldorm and Southern Hyrule cave.
We got some knowledge there from Sasha. A green pendant in Swamp Palace, so that's a maroon pearl in the back and blue mail. Not bad trove there.
And the pod compass. Okay, so you mentioned while we had no audio that the maps will give you the status of the dungeon, whether it's a crystal or a pendant. What do the compasses tell you?
The compass will tell you, it will give you a little display underneath your rupees, bombs, and arrows count that tells you how many chests you've checked and how many are left in each. So it can be a handy tool, just if you don't want to check your tracker, or if you just, in general are wondering on the spot.
Or if, like me, you're used to one of the standard or open mode chest counts. We've got a bottle. Got a bottle in the front room of Eastern. Pika heading over to check the east side, east side chests in Eastern Palace. I probably forgot that he didn't have. Hey, we've got a lamp.
All right. Won't have to worry about dark rooms with that early lamp.
I love lamp. I expect we're gonna see Pika coming out when he gets through what he can do in here. We've got a map for Swamp, which we already know is the green pendant. I suspect when Pika gets through with Eastern Palace, we're gonna see him heading up to Death Mountain, perhaps.
Yeah, that does look to be what the seed is pointing us to so far. They don't have full Dark World access just yet. They are missing a hammer that'll let them access Dark World. They can of course access Dark World through the portal in Death Mountain, but don't have much of a place to go beyond that.
That's true. They can't... A hammer or a second glove.
Yep, either will do for Dark World access. And Pika getting bombs out of that last available chest in Eastern, so he's going to nope on right out of there, and we'll see where he goes next. It's starting in Sanctuary, so he may be going for Death Mountain, seeing that he has the glove and the lamp.
Meanwhile, Brightwolf is right behind, heading into Eastern.
He does have the back of Escape to check. I don't believe he made that yet. That is open to him. That's 3 chests.
But Pika is heading straight for Death Mountain. Okay, so our three tree pull types are 1 rupee, 20 rupees, and hearts.
Those are pretty good tree pulls.
I guess I'm weird. I like getting arrows for tree pull. Arrows or bombs.
Yeah, it definitely want early bombs early on. Big rupees are nice to have just as a safety in case you run out. And Bright Wolf's picking up his lamp, and the old man giving him his old map to Turtle Rock, huh?
Well, that's one of those, you never know. Do you want to see Turtle Rock as a pendant, or do you not want to see Turtle Rock as a pendant?
It's always tough to route in if you have early access to Turtle Rock just because it has so many locations.
But needs so many things.
And that's sort of the thing with Keysanity. So you don't want to double dip, but oftentimes you're going to have to.
Yeah, double dipping can be a pain, but now I wonder what compass is up here on top of Spectacle Rock. Looks like we're not going to find out. Now we still don't have a sword.
Yeah, it is a swordless seed so far. And Pika entering in, gonna use bombs to open up the locks there so we can check the 2 chests in Tower of Hera. Got some powder in the basement.
A very nice safety item. But that is all Pika can do in here right now because he has no way to flip the crystal switches.
Oh, he ran out of bombs. Oh no.
But the good news is he does have the a big 20 from Sick Kid. Pikapals does have the Death Mountain starting location opened up.
Yeah, it'll make it a quick check for him.
Looks like he is heading back to Kakariko to probably buy bombs. Brightwolf is heading back into the bottom of Escape, using his lamp to get through to go get the other chest. And that other chest in the back of Escape has the hook shot.
All right, that's perfect because it's gonna give him. It's gonna open up East Death Mountain for him. Give him an additional 7 chests.
I think that just puts brightwolfz ahead.
Yeah, those chests. That one chest in Escape is always tricky to route in. That Hookshark's gonna give brightwolfz a big advantage. Pikapals is heading into Tower of Hera.
And 100 rupees in the other chest that he could pick up in Tower of Hera.
That's a tough feeling when you just took a minute or two out of your time to go check that one chest and ended up being rupees. Pikapals is looking to go north, so he may have the same idea that something lamp plus that one key to the back of the Escape is probably what he wants to go for.
He's going to do the front half of Escape. Meanwhile, brightwolfz is heading up Death Mountain and probably going to check all of East Death Mountain. I'm still waiting to see where we're going to find a sword.
Got a big key to Desert Palace, right? First chest in Escape.
Okay, it is Tower of Hera is Crystal 5. So not only is it a crystal, it's a big bada boom crystal.
And for those that don't know, Crystal 5 and 6 are highlighted red or given the star in the tracker because they do open up the possibility of checking 2 chests inside the Pyramid of Dark World.
brightwolfz using his hook shot for iframes, which is a very useful tool. I use that a lot in the firebar room in Death Mountain, or Turtle Rock rather. We've got a mushroom in Zelda's chest.
Ooh, the little breadcrumb sprinkle.
brightwolfz using the mirror glitch to disappear a block.
Now, one of the fun tricks you get in the Japanese version 1.0.
Pod, small key, and is that the ruby rod?
That is her indeed. Fire Rod in the East Death Mountain. And Pikapal's picking up his hook shot, so he'll be looking to head also to East Death Mountain.
Okay, in the 5 chests in the back of Paradox Room, you got Big 20, you got Compass, which I didn't notice where it was. You got T-Rock Big Key, 5 Arrow Upgrade, and Eastern Palace Big Key.
We are 4 big keys deep so far, giving him plenty of options to check.
That's a pretty good Paradox Cave.
Still missing Dark World access, though.
and still not enough money to do Zora. It's a small key of some kind on the island. Pikapals picking up his 5 chests from the back of Paradox Cave. It's a Desert Palace compass in that cave. And it's 8 chests on Eastern Death Mountain because there's the chest in the bottom of Spiral Cave too. Which is a Misery Mire big key.
Wow.
And now it looks like brightwolfz is going to head up to take care of the two locations he can get in Tower of Hera.
Yeah, Pikapals is doing a very good job closing the gap here. brightwolfz catching, now just picking up the, going up to North Death Mountain. That's the beauty with Keysanity is you may think you have a lead, but no lead is safe in Keysanity. We've got crystals 2 over in Turtle Rock and 3 in Skull Woods.
I guess I'm weird because I like Swamp Palace, and I like full clearing Swamp Palace.
It's those 2 chests in the west of the left side there. Always a pain.
Although Go Mode Swamp Palace is ridiculous amounts of fun.
This is true.
But we won't see a Go Mode Swamp Palace in this seed because Swamp Palace is a pendant.
Though we might with Keysanity, anything could be anywhere.
We might see Swamp Palace, we won't see it in Go Mode.
We are still in the early stages, so pedestal hype is still on the table. Plus, with the green pendant on Swamp, that opens up this Sasharala as a item. So, a lot of things to think about. Pikapals making that hike back for the big chest, only getting the compass out of it, but looks like he's going up to the right in the back there, picking up the treasure trove of rupees. It's gonna help him out if he wants to make that Zora play.
Well, I think at this point that's one of the most reasonable plays to make is to look at Zora. Pika heading in to do the back of Escape. I'm not entirely sure what
So he's going
brightwolfz
for
is doing.
Pikapals going for a Houlihan setup there. If you bomb yourself into a hole, the game doesn't know where to put you, so it puts you in Chris's room.
I keep forgetting you can do Houlihan Room that way.
I'm just so used to doing it the traditional way of dropping 4 times into that water there with no flippers. but that's also viable. It does look like he is going to be stocking up to do that. Pikapal setting up. Pikapal is trying to set up for fake flippers so he can get to that portal to give him a quick warp to check Zora faster. And he gets it. Well done, Pika.
I've never seen anyone do fake flippers off of that one.
There's so many tricks. This game is so busted in so many amazing ways, and that's just one of the beautiful things you can do. You don't see it too often, but when you do, I really enjoy it.
Well, I'm used to seeing the other fake flippers. I'm used to seeing fake flippers down in the south where you check hobo.
Yep, that's the traditional, the best place to do it, just because of the you can check hobo, you can check Highway Island.
We have flippers.
No worries. Not gonna have to see him with fake flippers. That mushroom actually paid off.
We get the fake flippers. And Pika is heading up to do Zora. I think that's the most reasonable play at this point.
Yeah, and that does open up the two chests here in the waterfall cave.
But with the Moon Pearl, you can fake flippers into there as Quack, and it's the third shield. So we've now seen all three shields. It's just an arrow. It's just arrows on Zora's ledge. And the life lesson, it's the other glove.
Oh, wonderful.
Full Dark World access for Pikapals. Brightwolfz picks up his mushroom.
Pikapals is heading straight for Dark World.
Which that's Village of Outcasts is Village of Outcasts is the easy play at this point. Or Skull Woods.
Yeah, he's got access. He can actually clear Skull Woods at this point.
That's true, and it is a pendant or a crystal rather, which I don't think he knows.
Oh wait, he doesn't have no sword yet. That's of course. Always forget about that little vines in the back there that you have to get before you can get to Moppy.
Thieves Town map. So, since the maps tell you if it's a crystal or a pendant, I assume that means that you can't use the music trick like you use, like you would use otherwise.
Right, it actually randomizes the music, so you can't walk in and hear the Dark World music and think it's automatically a crystal.
So Pikapals picks up the Swamp Palace big key. And it's just a Pizza Hut on the Cape Ledge. Swamp Palace Compass in the Eastern Palace Big Chest. We still have no boots yet. Pikapals is going to check the northern Dark World locations.
I like this check. It's easy to forget that this cave is here. It's tough to route in, but this is probably your best chance to do it, especially with mirror.
Pod small key. I actually don't like routing it in right now. Routing that the graveyard ledge in right now. Only because without boots, that makes it impossible to check the King's Tomb.
Yeah, it does end up isolating that one chest there, so that does become one of the things you have to weigh when you start routing on the fly.
I also disagree with if you're going to check Graveyard Ledge, you may as well go over and check Catfish, which is another place that's near impossible to route in. And he gets another pod key.
3 pod keys. It's a nice early indication that maybe pod's where they want to go. The seed is randomized, but logic will sometimes still tell you what kind of nudge you in a certain direction.
And Ganon's Tower Compass.
Brightwolfz is going to the hidden cave there that gives you 50 rupees on the fly, so looks like he's got the idea to check Zora as well.
Which he's going to find out is a good idea. And money from Sea Hut. Chat points out that King's Tomb is directly accessible from Light World, which it is. I just like to be able to route all of that in at once. And suggests rounding that in with Bonk Rocks, which is not an unreasonable thought.
Yeah, when you get boots, it's usually a pretty good time to do that.
And Pikapals is heading over to do digging game.
Not diving into Thieves Town just yet. There are 4 chests to be open that you can check, but with Mitz he can go back up there. With Mirror as well, he may be trying to take care of Smithy at the same time.
And it's just 10 arrows in digging game. Now, Brightwolf's not having the flippers means he cannot check the 2 chests in the waterfall.
He does have Mushroom, though. He is going to cash in his Mushroom, so he will have flippers.
Ah, I had forgotten that was from cashing in Mushroom. And Pikapals hitting the Bat Cave. Na 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 na. Small key to Turtle Rock. I'm not entirely sure why Pikapals hasn't turned in the Smith yet.
I think he locked his portal back to Dark World behind the hammer switch. and now he has to go back, mirror it, and then he can route in Gary's chest.
Ah, Gary's lunchbox. Yes, if you are enjoying what you see, what you're watching, give these runners a follow. brightwolfz with a Z on the end, and Pikapals.
And we'll give a shout out to our tracker there, Draco Falcone, doing an excellent job thus far, keeping track of all the keys and items we're finding here.
And also a big shout out to our restreamer Skipsy. Without him, none of you'd be able to watch would be able to watch this. At least not simultaneous. brightwolfz heading up to check Hobo.
Just a compass in cave 4045 or the cave below Grove.
I wonder what Stumpy's got.
Yeah, so Pikapals is doing a pretty traditionally good routing for Dark World early, especially when you have Mirror and the Mitts. He's taking care of all those Village of Outcasts checks, working his way all the way through South Dark World, taking the chest along with him. He's going to cash it in, and then you'll most likely see him head for Hype Cave, get a quick 5-item check there as well.
Looks like he's going to turn in Gary's lunchbox first, but then presumably he's going to head over to the cave formerly known as Hype Cave.
Yeah, the chest does not like to go inside anywhere with you. You got red mail.
Red?
All right.
And we still have no swords.
Yeah, 42 minutes into the run, no sword. It's definitely got to be expecting that it's coming up soon. And no hammer, too, so they're very limited as far as offense. Both runners doing a great job, though, of not taking deaths early.
And they only have 5 hearts. Well, Pika's got 6, but still.
Yeah, blue mail and riot shield over at brightwolfz. And now we're going to get a look into Hype Cave. While brightwolfz is going for the Hype Super Bunny Cave.
Yes, and nothing that useful in Super Bunny. Big 20, Pizza Heart, bottle, and a Misery Mire small key in the Cave of Inevitable Disappointment.
Womp, womp, womp.
brightwolfz is checking the medallion requirement, which is Quack, to get into Turtle Rock. Meanwhile, brightwolfz is checking the Hookshot Cave. We get a bottle. Half magic.
Oh,
Ether.
oh, the suspense before the last one. brightwolfz playing up the drama. Come on, 4th chest. It's got to be good. The Kane!
That's gotta be Kane.
Shoutouts to Vince McMahon. That's got to be Kane. So that's perhaps the hypest hookshot cave I've ever seen.
It ranks up there for me.
So with the medallion, the big key to Turtle Rock, and 1 small key, Turtle Rock is on the table. Early Turtle Rock is on the table.
Well, no ice rod. And no sword.
Yeah, it can't be completed just yet, but they do have access to some chests.
And that is a Thieves Town small key on the island.
Oh.
Thieves Town is on the table.
No hammer, unfortunately.
No hammer, but you can get everything but the You can get everything but the big chest.
Oh, I can't wait to see where the logics put hammer.
Yeah, you cannot. Turtle Rock is not on the table. You cannot use the medallion without.
That's right. That's right. I'm just so used to having sword by now that
Yeah, it doesn't occur to me.
yep. That's just one of the things that can happen. These runners are very well versed in all the ways that Keysanity and Randomizer itself can curveball you.
And you need hammer to get on top of the back of the turtle.
Okay, well now that's just on me straight up.
Pika is heading over to our little extortionist Kiki. Meanwhile, brightwolfz is going to make the Village of Outcast checks. And oh, it happens, partner. I've had a couple embarrassing lapses in commentary myself. Like forgetting that you need hammer to get into Swamp Palace.
Yeah, there are just so many things you got to keep track of sometimes.
And 300 rupees, so the rest, or so most of Pod is going to be, or so the right-hand side of the basement is bow locked.
He does have 4 keys though, so he can get pretty deep in there.
There's a hammer.
There you go. Hammer and pod.
Halt.
Wow.
Halt, for the hour of the hammer is upon us. Could we see Bo somewhere deep in Pod? Get an Eastern Palace compass. We get a heart container and 50 rupees down in the basement of Pod.
And with 1 key left, he opts to use it down and check that one harmless hellway.
It looks like Pika's setting up for a hammer yump.
Hammer Imp's a very precise move. He needs to be set up on the correct pixel enough, or else he won't hit this, so that's why you're seeing all the pause action. Allows him to buffer and set up his spray in the correct position. Oh, and just miss it. It's very difficult.
But he did get the bombable wall opened, so...
he gets it, but he doesn't have the big key.
But he gets in to get the 2 chests over here, which have a Misery Mire compass. And
the big key to pod.
oh, because it didn't have a big key to wear on it.
Correct. If you find a big key and no box comes up, no item box like that one comes up, then that means you found the vanilla, or not the vanilla, but you found the big key that corresponds to that dungeon you're in.
Oh wow! And a Swamp Palace small key. Swamp Palace is in play.
Oh my. Swamp is definitely the play now. It's pendant, it's green pendant, but with all the items you have, it's telling you go to Swamp.
I was gonna say 7. I was gonna say that's 7 items, but it may be more. Because I'm used to the item counts from standard. Yeah, I mean, chat points out, okay, it's 10 items in there, so that would be 11 items. And a big 20 on the first one. Silvers.
Oh, that is a good find.
Well, it might be a good find. It'll be a good find if he finds the bow with it. Meanwhile, brightwolfz heads into the Cave of Inevitable Disappointment. Oh man, is Pika gonna have to do menu boss?
Absolutely. He's definitely going to be using the hammer to take care of Argus when he gets down there.
Well, unless he manages to find 2 swords in here.
And Eastern is the other crystal needed. The other red crystal would be crystal 6. Good info there. brightwolfz checking the bomb dealer, who will tell you where those 2 are.
There's sword number 1. 53.5 minutes in.
And a flute!
Pika almost drowns the key.
Oh, I've been there so many times. It's easy to forget that key is what you need to make sure you don't lock yourself out of that left side.
I did it once. I've never gone that route since.
Okay, good. He puts the bomb next to the switch as well. I've been there where I've gone the entire way around and forgot to turn the switch back.
Brightwolfz heading around to into Skull Woods. Pika got the sword in the room south of the big chest room in Swamp. And there's the bow.
Oh, the Valiant Swamp. Absolutely the right play. Pikapals is taking a lead in this one right now with that Swamp play. That is fantastic work.
And the Swamp play wouldn't have happened without the pod play either.
Absolutely, those are two consecutive plays that are just the right moves to make. brightwolfz has Cane and Fire Rod, so he can make the check back here, and he can check the back chest there in Skull Woods. Still doesn't have sword, unfortunately, so he can't get to Mopula, but he can check those chests.
And a full heart container in the where the big key usually is in Skull Woods. Okay, 50 rupees and a big key for Tower of Hera. Oh man, so much value in Swamp. There's an arrow upgrade.
Yep, in Swamp, Bright is checking in the back of Skull. There's one chest that he can access, which I don't believe Pikapals checked.
Pikapals did not.
And only 10 arrows, okay.
But I mean, Pikapals has come this far.
Oh no, brightwolfz is going to the back. He must have forgotten that he can't actually get to Mopula.
And Pikapals using the spin attacks, which have the same power as a Master Sword Strike. And now he's going to use the silver arrows to finish off Argus. Just get 3 bombs out of it. But also get the green pendant, which presumably means a return trip to Rufus Xavier Sarsaparilla.
Yeah, he may go for that. He may try to take care of Hera and Eastern. Those are open now. Those are the red crystals. He's got full access to them now.
Or he'll do something else entirely.
Actually, he's got to go activate that flute.
Oh yeah. Yeah, good point.
So much in Swamp, I forgot that he got flute out of there.
Yeah. It's bad when there's so much value in the dungeon that the flute is just ignorable. Well, not ignorable, but overshadowed. Pikapals is going to, no, he's going to do neither of those. He's going to go and finish off Skull Woods.
Very, very interesting. With seven hearts, he's gonna go for Mothula. It's gonna be a very, very difficult fight, though. With red male, it's slightly easier. It can troll you at any minute, though.
With red mail and a red potion. Or did he not pick up the red potion?
So Pikapal is not having checked Hookshot Cave yet, so he doesn't have Cane of Samaria. I'm gonna resort to the pulling of the statue. Getting it no problem, though. Yes, Pika doesn't have enough keys to complete Pod, so I do believe he needs an additional key. He used up his 4 on his first visit. Brightwolfz seeing the big 20 on the pyramid, gonna check it. Looks like he's heading over towards the catfish.
Which is not an easy thing to route in.
No, this is usually where I like to route it in, is after a pyramid check. Just head up there anyway. You never know, you might have to do it.
That's my usual preference on where to route it into. When you're already over by Pod.
Pikapals is going for it. He's going for the Mothula fight. Hammer strats, here we go.
This is a terribly programmed fight.
It's the worst fight. Brightwolfz only found 20 rupees over in catfish.
Well, that is the single most common drop.
Pikapals getting it. Only 3 bombs, but he is picking up his first crystal. At 1 hour 2 minutes. Yeah, and just to reiterate, Pikapals did a wonderful job dodging all of those spikes. Like you said, this is a terribly programmed fight. They didn't think it'd be difficult enough just to have a treadmill floor, but hey, why not surround the floor with spikes that fly at you?
And let's also make it so if you hit the boss, and in any part of hitting the boss, in any part of the boss's knockback, he goes over a spike, your damage is negated.
Yep, just another reason to love Mothula.
If Pikapals had a book, I would say we'd be having a pedestal check, but...
Hey, Brightwolfz doing our first Thieves Town play there. Getting a Dark Palace small key, so that's going to be, when Pikapals goes in there, he'll be happy to see that.
That's kind of suggesting to Brightwolfz, hey, you may want to do Pod.
Yeah, it's a very heavy indication at this point. And meanwhile, over on Pikapal's screen, he's in Kakariko ruffling some feathers and getting his duck.
And Brightwolf's turning into a mushroom from the bunny beam.
Someone's gonna have to explain that to me, but that's awesome.
Pikapal's gonna check Meyer.
And with Desert Big Key, he can check that. He did not check to see what pendant medallion was on there yet, but sure he's gonna lean over there just a second.
We've got a shovel and a Turtle Rock small key.
Oh, that Turtle Rock is calling.
And 5 rupees on the desert ledge. And a heart container in the big chest in Desert Palace. And a big 20 in the bomb bomb the light room in Thieves Town.
Yeah, and only a piece of heart over on the torch in Desert, so no need boots there. He could just go ahead and finish up with that. But he doesn't. We don't know what it holds, a pendant or a crystal, so he's gonna go in there and just take a look. It's a quick. It won't take him too long to do, so it's a smart move.
Nope, it's not a bad play at all.
And where typically Thieves Town is a smart play to make early, brightwolfz doesn't have a hammer, so if he wants to come back for the chest, he's going to have to do that after he goes to pod for hammer.
Oh my, Brightwolfz is pretty much in a position where he's gonna have to use Samaria blocks on blind. And the 4th Turtle Rock key at Maiden's chest.
Oh wow, it's also calling to you. And Pikapals making quick work with those silver arrows with landmow as well. Well done.
2-cycle landmow, that's nice.
Oh
And
my
Ganon's
God.
Tower big key.
Oh wow. So these runners won't have an issue getting that. Brightwolfz won't have a problem once he goes there. He'll have it. And now he's doing blind with cane strats. This is one of the few items that can actually damage blind. So in lieu of sword, the logic will make you kill him with this. And if he does it, well done, brightwolfz.
And Ether to open up Misery Mire.
Oh, so Hookshot Cave is Pikapal's play at this point. He'll get the hookshot and he'll get the cane and the ether there.
And that may be exactly where Pikapals is going. We are an Ice Rod shy of Trinex. Both of these runners making some impressive boss kills with not your usual items.
No, yeah, that's the wonderful part about Keysanity is you've got all those keys and items mixed in with the rest of the pool there that you sometimes do get these scenarios where you have to make these strange fights. And especially if you're racing at the high level these races are, you want to, your opponent is good. You want to get those done early.
It looks like brightwolfz is heading over to make the play on pod.
He's doing it. Yep. He's listening.
But the question is, will he make then the play on swamp? I think he will. I think he has to.
Well, he's opening it up, but I think he's definitely going to check the track cave. He doesn't have cane, so he can't do anything. Yep. That's
Well, I was
exactly where
referring
he's
to Bright. Yeah, he's got to be going to Hookshot Cave. I was referring to Brightwolfz. Is Brightwolfz then going to make the play on swamp?
Oh, interesting. He doesn't know what medallion's there, but I'm sorry, in swamp. Yeah, he's got to be making that play to swamp, but he could do Mire. They're not too far off. Pikapals does have a crystal advantage, but with some smart moves, brightwolfz can catch up in no time.
And Pika heads into Hookshot Cave.
Gonna be very happy.
Gets his ether. Gets his cane.
He's just missing Ice Rod, and he's pretty much good to go.
To answer the question in chat, yes, we did find the Ganon's Tower big key. It was on Land Molas. Okay, Eastern Palace Compass. Brightwolf's heading to the backside of Eastern.
So we know the locations of 6 crystals: Eastern Desert, Hera, Skull, Thieves, and Turtle. I'm missing where that one last one is. Could be Ice, could be Mire, could be Pod.
Looks like Pika is going to go and finish off Tower of Hera.
Yeah, he's got a lot with that hookshot cave play. He's got a lot he can do before even stepping foot into Turtle. He may just want to clear everything out of the way so that he doesn't, if he may get Ice Rod early and not have to worry too much about Turtle Rock.
So now the question is, where else is Bright going to check here in Pod?
He's got 2 more keys, so he can still make that. He can check the right side there.
Well, and Pika still needs at least Ice Rod, another sword, at least Ice Rod and another sword.
Yeah, that's true. Can't forget that he does need at least Master Sword to inflict any damage on Ganon. But really, Pikapals is just... He gets that Ice Rod and he tries to find a sword, and once he gets that, he's good to go. He's got the big key for Thieves Town. He can bomb jump and eliminate the need for big key in Ice Palace. Mr. Meyer, he has the big key. He's got the big key for Turtle Rock. He's got the big key for Eastern. So, no problems there. He's just gonna breeze right through the rest of this. We could actually still have Ice Rod on pedestal.
Ice Rod can always be on pedestal unless Turtle Rock is a pendant.
Absolutely. And thankfully, Turtle Rock is a crystal, so the possibility is there. That would be actually pretty exciting.
I've commentated several seeds, never commentated a pedestal seed.
First time for everything. Yeah, Pikapals using that hammer did not have to, didn't sweat at all for Moldorm, so well done there.
And Pikapals is heading over for Pikapals is heading over to do Turtle Rock.
Brightwolf's got that hammer. He's very excited. Yeah.
The question is if Pika doesn't find another sword in Turtle Rock, will he try to fighter sword Trinex?
Oh, if he finds Ice Rock but not a sword, that'll be very interesting. He may try to hammer strat Trinex. We'll have to see how it shapes out. Brightwolf's going down to Swamp, making the right moves there. He's following the seed, he's following the logic, making the right moves.
Yeah, to an extent, this seed is definitely breadcrumbing. We have the Lagmarang and another big heart. Chat pointing out that Keysanity can be very breadcrumby. As Pikapals continues his way through The Legend of Zelda Super Mario Brothers.
Oh, always love to see a cameo. Link did show up in Super Mario RPG, so maybe it was a little fair trade there. Okay, Brightwolf's picking up the silvers. He's going to be very excited when he finds that sword.
He's probably going to be even more excited when he finds that bow later in this dungeon.
Yeah, I really hope he goes for that left side. I imagine he will, but I've definitely seen some runners opt to save that. But Keysanity, thoroughness is rewarded. Pikapals just skipping the vanilla big key chest there in Turtle Rock, opting to steal the Pokey's key. Yeah, he's going to make the bet that if he can get all the way down to Laser Bridge, that those 4 chests will give him something.
But he's put himself in a position where he has to laser skip, even though he could have put himself in a position where he didn't.
That's true. It's going to be very tricky. He doesn't have boots. He doesn't have cape or Kane O'Brien. So, very, very tough.
Now, see, you were mentioning about Canis Tamaria strats with blind. Personally, I think Kane O'Brien strats on blind are even cooler.
Oh yeah, that plus half magic is just so easy. And Brightwolf's picking up his first sword, very excited. Look at him slash. That's great. Oh, I love to see that.
Because after all, blind is the only boss that Kane O'Brien damages.
Yep, that's right. It does cause sub lag, but blind King O'Brien does work on blind.
Brightwolf is not skipping left side swamp.
No, very, very, very good play. Just clear it out. Don't have to worry about it. Yeah, just a map of Hyrule Castle. It's getting starting to itch closer now. He's only got just the 4 chests left to check in Turtle Rock.
This room that Pikapals is in now is where I've always used the iframes from Hookshot.
Yeah, definitely. Depending on where you're at with the with health here, it's a good idea to just make sure you can safely get through. There are two hearts there and a full pot of magic that you can get for safety as well in there. Pikapals immediately getting knocked by that on the sword. Such a troll.
Yeah, just switch to the bow and shoot an arrow down at it.
He's got hook shot. You can knock him. All right, we got 20.
Big 20 in the first one. Another big 20.
20.
Castle Tower key.
Alright, one more. What's it gonna be? Ooh, Piece of Heart. Turtle Rock was not the play to do.
And brightwolfz picks up the D. And brightwolfz heading back to finish off Swamp Palace.
And Pikapals looks to be making his first dive into Thieves Town.
Which he can full clear, I believe.
Does not have a small key for Thieves Town.
Where was the small key?
I have no idea where it was. I know brightwolfz picked it up, but Pikapals missed it. Ah, it was on Floating Island.
I thought he picked that up.
Oh, he does have it, okay. Okay, so yeah, Pikapals will be able to full clear that, so he has access to that chest.
And if that chest is important, that may be game over.
Yeah,
That may be it.
Yeah, if that has Ice Rod or a sword upgrade, that's definitely gonna be big points in Pikapal's favor. Yeah, like we were saying earlier, Keysanity is unique in such a way that there's just so much you have to find versus a normal open seed that where Pikapals does have a lead at this moment. If he gets stuck looking for, 1 or 2 items that he needs to get to go mode, that can be enough time for brightwolfz to catch up. So it's never until it's over. And just for people joining us, this is a Keysanity match in Monkey Patch Randomizer. All of the small keys, big keys, compasses, maps are shoveled into the world, into the past. So those can be found anywhere, not just the respective dungeons.
And because we haven't said it in a while, if you are enjoying this match, if you are enjoying this race, if you're enjoying Keysanity at all, give these runners a follow.
And another big shout out to our tracker Draco Falcone and our new streamer Skipsy. Give them a follow as well, they're doing great work.
And this guy Tim Lobo does pretty good commentary.
Never heard of him. I heard DM Stewart's pretty cool.
Nah, DM Stewart 1981 ain't that great.
And
Took a few tries, but brightwolfz gets Argus down with the silver arrows.
And he gets his green pendant as a reward and those 3 bombs. So he's got that over with. He's got his bow. He's got his flute. So we'll look. Gonna see where he's gonna go from here.
Now, I'll note neither one of these runners has, or Pika has not yet turned in that green pendant.
Correct. He hasn't. They haven't checked yet. So we'll see if maybe he ducks in there on his way back to Pod, which he most likely will.
Okay, it's just a big heart in the chest at the bottom of the big chest in Thieves Town.
Okay, it's not bad. Pikapals knows though. brightwolfz doesn't. He knows he went into Thieves Town and beat Blind, but he knows he left that one behind. So small things like that can definitely affect a runner. So we'll see if brightwolfz goes back to check at any point. Okay, and brightwolfz, not daffy at all. He's going to activate his duck ASAP. And Pikapals taking down Blind. So they're sort of on top of each other right now. Just one's in the dark world and one's in the light world.
And they are in pretty similar situations.
Yeah, they're not too far off actually, since Pikapals has a couple more dungeon clears, but as far as items go, they're pretty much neck and neck there. And brightwolfz is going to, now that he got flute, that's usually the dead giveaway to go over to Meyer. Check. He's going to see that. He knows he has it.
No, not to answer chat. Neither one has done hammer pegs. Well, both were right there, but neither one had the hammer when they were right there. To answer chat again. And Pika is turning in green pendant, and it's a sword upgrade.
Wow, so he is almost done. He just needs that ice rod. He's in go mode, but he's definitely gonna still check all the chests he can. He needs that ice rod. It could be anywhere.
And Pika's gonna go back and finish off Pod.
Yep, very smart move to do. He can go up the right side and finish it. Alright, brightwolfz is mirroring into desert. He's gonna most likely clear all of it now.
I wonder where boots are.
That's a great question. Boots have thus far not been needed. It isn't an item you need to clear the game unless an important item is being held at library or the Torching Desert.
Or King's Tomb, or Bonk Rocks.
Or the Torching Ganon's Tower. Oh my god, what if he gets into Ganon's Tower and clears something? What if... Oh, no, he couldn't, but that'd be great. Skullwood's big key could be... Ice Rod could be in there. Still sitting on Ice Rod on pedestal life.
Chat points out, and I agree, it's going to come down to where the ice rod is.
Oh, absolutely. Brightwolfz does seem to be following Pikapals' path, but should he take any deviations in his route and finds ice rod before Pikapals does, it's in a particularly stingy location or something that somewhere obscure, then it could swing the tide if Pikapals does check it. But we'll
Well,
see what move.
Brightwolfz has Mire available to him that Pikapals did not, because Pikapals had not been up to Hookshot Cave to get ether.
That's true. If he wants, he can go and complete Mire since he's here. Mire
And I'm going to say I think that's probably the smart play.
Yeah, so Draco Falcone is confirming that Ice Palace is the final crystal. So now we know the locations of all the crystals and all the pendants. So that makes Palace of Darkness is a pendant. So he's gonna finish off Helm's Sword. Won't be a bad fight at all with Silver's hammer there. So it may have Ice Rod. We'll see. And bullseye, first shot, good kill. And Brightwolfz picking up his Ganon's Tower big key and his crystal.
Pikapals getting a big 20.
Big 20, Kitty's money.
Brightwolfz is choosing not. Yes, Brightwolfz is choosing not to go into Ice Palace, or not Ice Palace, Mire. He is, however, going over to finish off Pod. Pika, on the other hand, is going to finish off Eastern.
Yep, you're right there. Might as well. Brightwolfz is going. Yeah. I think he's going over to cash in with Sasha. He'll get his Master Sword there. If he was gonna do Pod, he could route that in on his way to Pod, but opting to just check Sasha on his own.
Brightwolf's Master Sword from Rufus Xavier Sarsaparilla.
The boss.
Okay, chat pointing out that Brightwolfz does not do either the Hammer Yump or Ice Palace Bomb Jump.
Okay, then that does complicate matters for him. Knowing Ice Palace Bomb Jump will eliminate the need for having the Ice Palace Big Key. With not knowing Hammer Yump, that's not too bad. He has 5 pod. He has in totality 5 pod keys.
Oh my!
Oh wow!
Tempered Sword from Armos Knights, and Brightwolfz is heading in to get that as well.
Okay, so he won't be far away in terms of what he has as a weapon. I think Pikapals having the Skullwoods big key, I think he knows there's one chest there he hasn't checked, so he may go dip in there. Yep, he's gonna go dip in and check that big chest.
Which makes a lot of sense. And he's checking it the classic way.
Yep, no bomb jump here, he's just going straight in for that switch. He can hookshot his way back across. Just a compass for Turtle Rock, okay. So the hunt is still on for Ice Rod. Meanwhile, brightwolfz is entering Armos fight. Shouldn't be a problem there with the silver arrows, should be quick fight. Catfish
They have
has
checked
already.
Catfish. It is just a big 20.
I believe brightwolfz has checked Catfish, but Pikapals has not. Pikapals looks like he is going to go for Mire play at this point. It's the last pendant, so if he doesn't find Ice Rod in Mire, you may see a blind tentpole.
Now, do we see a bird toss here?
Ooh, I'm gonna say yes. Oh,
No bird toss.
This is a tournament, so we yeah, absolutely gotta. You're racing someone. No time for bird toss. We got a map over in the dig spot. Map for Damon's Tower there. That's something here. Pikapals has not checked that yet.
Do you want to have a fetch quest? Pikapal's checking left-hand side of Mire, gets a small key for desert, opening up the opening up 2 more chests for him. Shovel spot was just checked. It's Ganon's Tower map.
Oh, the dead rocks blocking access to Tower of Hera. The worst people in the game. Brightwolf's going for Tower of Hera. He knows it's a crystal and he can check it. So he's going to clear that out. Pikapal's getting a small key for Ganon's Tower there. brightwolfz making a smart move. Did not go back to pod, which Pikapals did. It can be a bit of a tedious, long dungeon to do, especially for a pendant. So if pedestal's not required for Ice Rod, then brightwolfz is a little bit closer because he didn't have to do pod. But he doesn't know that there's nothing in the rest of House of Darkness, so we'll see what he does here.
And Ice Palace map for brightwolfz. Okay, so Pikapals has cleared out left-hand side of Mire. Now he is working on the back side of Mire.
Oh wow, I really like that routing. I have never seen that.
I haven't either. I've always traditionally gone right side first.
Yeah, you do these two, and then you go to the left and then back to the right. But that's a clean route. Got to see what's in big. Just a heart in the big chest. Got 2 more chests here back to back he's gonna look at.
Oh, I really like that Meyer routing.
Yeah, it's I had not considered this, but this is actually really nice. Picking up a full heart and 2 heart pieces.
And Trolldorm strikes again, brightwolfz.
Trolldorm. No matter what skill level you are, everyone falls to Trolldorm. But he gets that kill. Revenge of the brightwolfz.
And picks up his pod map and crystal.
He gets his red crystal, so he has it too. I don't believe we've seen either. We've seen Pikapals go for that big bomb yet, so that's still on the table.
Yes, if brightwolfz goes for that right now, or right quick, and it has the ice rod.
Yes, yeah. I mean, he's. Oh, okay. Ice is a pendant. All right, we've got that. We've got that back. It happens to be the blue one on a blue icon on the map, so that's very easy to miss.
Brightwolf's forgetting that he doesn't actually have enough to get through Spike Cave.
Yeah, the logic's not going to require him to go in without some, at least some safety there. Pikapal's going to have a very easy fight here against Vitreous.
Now our Keysanity logic is based on V27, yes?
I believe it's up to date with 28, but I'm not positive on that.
Pikapal's making short work of Vitreous.
Okay, so getting confirmation that Misery Mire is a crystal, so we had those 2 reversed there. There's Ice Rod.
There's your ice rod.
Pikapals is in go mode at this point. He's going to make this last check on his chest and head right back to Turtle Rock, because that's the last one he needs. And brightwolfz is going for that giant bomb play.
Objectively, it's really not a bad play.
No, it's not. When you see 2 red crystals on the light world dungeons, that's sometimes a hint to take a look at it, since it's pretty easy to get to. But we'll see what's actually inside. Ooh, Bloomerang and a key to Ganon's Tower. Yeah, so brightwolf's also in the same boat. He's just missing that ice rod. He needs to take a look at the right side of desert, but he's going to make a look at the 2 chests available to him in Aghadom's Tower.
Meanwhile, Pika is going to head back into Turtle Rock.
Yeah, he's on that one-way trip straight to Trinex.
Bright Wolf heading back to finish off Skull Woods, which he couldn't do because the first time it was in here he did not have a sword.
And now he comes back with Tempered, which is a good feeling when you get to finish off Mothula with, you know, half magic, fire rod, and Tempered. So yeah, Pikapals is you know, his entire run today has just felt very, very on point. He's made all the right calls, all the right plays. I talked to him before the race and kind of got a feeling for how he was feeling. And he did say that he was working on his routing and sort of making sure he was making the right moves. And he's got to be feeling good right now with all the plays he made, sort of leading into each other one after another. And that's nothing against brightwolfz at all. These are very Keysanity is very difficult and tough to get your mind around sometimes with all the various locations and all the items you could possibly need growing. He's a veteran of speedrunning. He's done DKC2 runs, so he's doing Link to the Past, and he's doing very well at it. He's a great runner. Just sometimes Keysanity will do that to you. But he is making the right moves right now. He's got a sense of direction where he's going. He's going to take care of Mothula, get that crystal, and move on towards perhaps Meyer.
I think Meyer is the play because I think that's where the Desert Palace key was.
Yep, I believe so.
Brightwolf's making quick work of
Wonderful.
Mothra.
Yeah, that was a beautiful kill. Good job ducking all those spikes and landing it.
Pika into phase 3 of Trinex.
Yeah, with not a single ice on the board. That's great. And wow, beautiful kill. Two runners doing a great job executing in this race. And there's the 7th crystal for Pikapals. He's going straight to Ganon's tower.
Yep. And he's got enough keys to make it work, too. Chad asking if there's a possible sub 2 hours.
That's possible, yeah.
That is a definite possibility.
Absolutely, it's going to come down to execution in the gauntlet, making his way up Ganon's tower. Yeah, with red nail, tempered sword. I mean, he should. It's on the table, absolutely. 4 bottles. Oh man, it's very good shape. brightwolfz he's got the bird. He's taking him around the ring, and the toss. Yeah, Pikapals getting into Ganon's tower under 2 hours has to be feeling really good about everything he's done today. To just get you into Ganon's tower under 2 hours is incredible.
Oh yeah.
So, you know, most Keysanity seeds are at least over 2 hours, 2.5. 3 hour seeds not uncommon to see. So he's definitely feeling good. He just has to buckle down, make very, very smooth moves, nail his execution on his way up again his tower, and he'll be all set.
And nice use of silver arrows in the gauntlet rooms.
Yep, brightwolfz has his key to Desert Palace now from Meyer.
You know, one thing about this seed that has not disappointed me at all, no dip into Ice Palace required.
Yeah, that's actually amazing to see. Did not even have to step foot in there.
Which doesn't bother me any because I hate Ice Palace.
Yeah, Ice Palace, definitely one of the more difficult dungeons to sort of at first get your mind around, and not to mention having to learn Ice Palace Bomb Jump. The routing of that dungeon can really mess with you sometimes.
And Pika through to the 4 eye laser room.
Yeah, wonderful job climbing up Ganon's tower, and no issues anywhere. Very, very good job.
Pika heading into Troll Dorm 2.
Alright, Donzu, no problem. It's gonna hook across the very last chest in the game. Nice little $5 cash box deposit from Moldorm too.
Now he heads through the true final boss room.
Oh, I hate this ice room, and no boots. Well done. Without boots, you know, makes it easier to sort of fly right up there, but just walking up there, great job. I'm very impressed. This is awesome.
Pika heads into Agate 2.
Nice double.
This.
Alright, Pikapals about ready to take on Ganon. 153 on the clock. He definitely has, if he doesn't take any falls or any deaths, sub 2's in the cards for him.
I'll agree with chat. Sub 2 is still in the realm of possibility for Pikapals.
Yep, it's just 12 hits for the first 2 phases of Ganon with Tempered. He's got to be very careful though now. Those bats will give him a death, but he's moved on to phase 3. That shouldn't have an issue here getting through. Don't know how he stands as far as bottles. He probably has some magic or potions that he can use. Okay, that's 1 of 4 silver arrow hits. All right, landing that 4th hit, Pikapals has defeated Ganon. And he has finished in 1st place with an SRL time of 1:55.42. Fantastic job. GG.
Well done, Pikapals. If you have been enjoying this race, give these runners a follow. Also, a big shout out to our tracker and our restreamer. Our tracker is Draco Falcone. Our restreamer is Skipsy. Brightwolfz heading into Ice Palace. Did not go and do the right side of desert.
Okay, and we are joined by Pikapals. Congratulations, Pikapals. How are you feeling?
Hey, thanks. I'm feeling pretty good.
Sub 2 hour Keysanity seed. I am duly impressed, sir.
Yeah, sub 2 is always a nice time to see, especially when you never find the boots.
So what do you think was the key play?
Honestly, that hammer jump and pod over, and then going straight to swamp, like, opened up so much. Like the flute, the bow. Like swamp just
Sword.
has so much. Yeah, sword, I guess. Yeah, who needs those?
Well, you certainly did fine without it for the first hour of the race.
Yeah, I guess I would have preferred having a sword, though, over trying to bomb the crystal switches in Hera.
Valid point.
But yeah, other than that, I guess the siege just kind of went pretty smoothly overall.
I can't disagree with that. It certainly did.
Yeah, Zora holding on to the Titan writs while all the 300s were in the Dark World was pretty annoying. But other than that, I guess.
Well, that's true. That's certainly a valid point. So I know you participated in the fall tournament, but I don't remember if you were in the main or secondary.
I was in the main, but never made it past Swiss. I ended up losing in the tiebreaker race for that.
Any other impressions of the seed that you have?
Not too much, you know. It seemed pretty average, I guess. It's just the early game was, I think, more rough than usual.
Yeah, you guys didn't get a sword until almost an hour into the seed, when you picked it up in Swamp finally. How was that? Just kind of navigating Sand Sword for so long.
I kind of enjoy going swordless for a while. I just like finding other ways to get around things. Like, hookshot was pretty key for most of the run, since you can just stun everything with it.
Yeah, both of you did actually excellent jobs not taking any unneeded deaths throughout that early part of the game.
Yes, I was. I have to say, I was very impressed with the with all the swordless, with all the things you did swordless in this seed. I was very impressed with brightwolfz doing blind with cane strats.
Nice. Cane strats are always pretty interesting.
Although my favorite cane to use is Cane of Brian on blind.
Which brightwolfz actually just picked up over in Ice Palace.
Yeah, Cane of Brian is nice. You just have to watch your magic on that one. You can be a lot less worried about blind, though, at least.
And brightwolfz safe quitting right out of ice.
He is probably going to go and see if Ice Rod is in Turtle Rock.
Or he might be trying to check Spike Cave. He couldn't do it earlier, so maybe he thinks this was the what he needed to do first.
Yeah, the way he's going, I think that's what he's doing. And it looks like from looking at Pikapals' credit roll, it looks like Buttersword was in the pedestal.
Yeah, some pretty good swords in this one.
Yeah, it took so long to get that first one, but it was immediate to tempered.
Yeah, it's kind of funny, actually. I guess Swamp Palace literally blocked all 4 swords.
Yeah, that's true. Yeah, you're right, because you got your first one from in Swamp, then you got one from Sasha because it was the green pendant.
And then the third one was Helmasaur, which required bow, which was in Swamp. And 3 pendants for the fourth one. So, yeah, Swamp blocked all 4 swords.
Yeah, kind of crazy.
Yeah, did you at any point consider the pedestal as an option?
Yeah, I was... If I had found, like, the book in Desert, I was just going to head straight there first, see if I can just blaze through ice.
Oh, sorry, Armos, not Helmasaur.
Right, you know, same area.
Sorry, it's been a long day.
Yeah, that's fair. Those 2 bosses come run right after the other anyway.
At least if you can route it right, they do. I loved that you could do that. You could do that Helmasaur straight into Armos routing.
Yeah, it's always fun to do.
Although my favorite Dark World, Light World switch routing is to do Tower of Hera as Crystal 7 into Ganon's Tower.
Yeah, that's always fun when you can pull it off. Era is just such a nice dungeon to finish, though. It's usually available so quickly.
You know, we were all worried that you were going to have to menu boss on Argus.
Yeah, that's what I was expecting. Menu boss on Argus isn't much fun, but at least gets the job done.
And brightwolfz is going to learn the bad news that Ice Rod is not in Turtle Rock.
Yeah, that's a time-consuming dungeon that, you know, you only want to run it once or twice at most. But at this point, it's at this stage of the game, he doesn't have Ice Rod. He's got to be thinking it's in there.
Well, and
Yeah,
you
that's
can't
true.
blame him. There's a whole lot more chests in Turtle Rock than the 2 that are in Desert Palace.
Yeah, absolutely.
For sure. Turtle Rock's definitely a tempting check.
Yeah, there was pretty much had Turtle Rock access really early, so that's sort of where you went, Pika, early, all the way back to Laser Bridge, skipping the big key chest. Any worries that that was going to come back, the big key miss skip?
Yeah, that's always a worry, but I find worrying about that being better than worrying about accidentally needing to find all 4 keys instead of just needing to find 3.
Yeah, that's true. I know for me, I sweat that stuff a lot where you're missing like one chest in a dungeon, or you're missing like one key, and you start getting all those thoughts sometimes about where that one item could be, or where your next progression item could be. What do you think about when you're doing Keysanity?
Yeah, definitely stuff like that. Like, I want to make sure I'm clearing out everything in the area. Like, you probably noticed that I put off Thieves Town until basically the end when I got the small key for it, finally.
Yeah, I was watching that and wondering, because Thieves Town is usually one of the first Dark World checks you make, but you made the choice to just skip it entirely until the very end.
Yeah, I just always like putting it off until I can get that big chest, not have to worry about, going all the way back through there just for one item that's probably not worth it, but it might be.
It's worth it often enough, and the big chest is far enough down in Thieves Town to make it worth not doing Thieves Town till you know you can get it.
Yeah, pretty much. I have the same feelings on Ice Palace's big chest too. It's just so far out there.
Okay, so I've got to ask you, because I don't know. What was the sprite you were using?
Oh, that was Cyrano from Toho, I think. I'm not really a big Toho guy, but I did think the sprite looked cute, so I decided to try playing as it, and it kind of stuck.
Well, okay then. And brightwolfz is going to presumably he's going to do Mimic Cave.
Okay, we had some issues there with the Discord, but we're still here. Gonna just finish out the race here with brightwolfz. brightwolfz is in go mode. He is just finishing out Turtle Rock, so he'll be picking up his last pendant crystal and heading over to Ganon's Tower.
Yes, let's see if he can do. Let's see if he can have as good a Trinex fight as Pikapals did.
Yeah, very quick and clean kill there. Oh, and he missed the pause on the first kill there. For some reason, that one head will stop you from pausing while it does its blowing up animation.
Yeah, it turns out the pause menu does not enjoy explosions.
And he got a couple pot shots there from Trinex, but just going to be going into the last part of it.
Still a very solid Trinex fight.
Yeah, absolutely. Missed the first spin there, but easily recovered. Going over to dance with the spikes real quick.
Once again, big shout out to our runners, brightwolfz and Pikapals, to our tracker, Draco Falcone, our restreamer Skipsy, my co-commentator Tim Lobo,
And right back at you, DM Stewart.
much appreciated, sir. Link to the Past Randomizer is crazy amounts of fun. If you guys that are watching this aren't already trying it out and playing it, you really should.
Yeah, absolutely. It's just an incredible fun experience, not only playing the game, but getting to be in the Discord and interact with all the wonderful people in the community.
Yeah, it's a very welcoming community, very helpful community. brightwolfz heading into the gauntlet.
I always found it so strange that nothing stopped those BMO's lasers, not even the riot shield.
So I do have one question for you, Pika. Why skip the second shield, the fire shield, when you saw it so early?
I don't know. I just kind of felt like it. I kind of debated about it after skipping it, but it was just kind of spur in the moment and you're not going back for it, so. It probably is better to pick it up there just because if you do end up with mirror shield, it's probably still faster than trying to do laser skip, but yeah, it's not a huge deal, usually.
I just figure when I see shield that early, I'm gonna pick it up.
Yeah, I was kind of more tempted to pick it up just because it was the second shield already. The second shield is a lot more useful than the first one.
Yeah, if I see an early first shield, I don't think I'm going for it. If I happen to pick it up in a chest, yeah, but I wouldn't go out of my way for it.
Yeah, the second shield at least also helps make blind easier if you mess something up, or if you have to do it with something silly like Cane.
Very true. So as I recall someone pointing out, I believe it was at an AGDQ, or at a GDQ, the boss fights in Ganon's Tower being refights of the bosses from the Light World dungeons with some extra feature. Like Armos has ice, Landmola's has just tons upon tons of lag.
Yeah, I've always dug a boss rush at the end of the game like that. I like Ganon's Tower.
Oh, Ganon's Tower is an incredibly fun dungeon. It's more fun, I think, in standard and open mode.
Yeah, in Keysanity you kind of just skip all of it, basically.
Right, just because you're actually doing the fun basement part of it.
Yeah, definitely, and nailing all the little cool tricks along the way just adds to it. I remember first few times playing Link to the Past when I was a kid. Ganon's Tower was a nightmare. And even coming back to it years later, it's just rough getting through it. But learning the way and learning to navigate it, really just so much fun.
Yeah, it's really confusing, especially as a kid, because it like splits off into two paths immediately, and then has all these extra little side things you can look at that don't do anything, but they're cool and they're there.
Yeah, so many dungeons have cool things that don't really go anywhere. Like that one room in Skull comes to mind, and the top left corner of Mire as well. That just kind of don't really go anywhere.
Yeah, Mire's especially interesting because it has that extra big key door that you would never use in vanilla because you never have the Cane of Samaria at that point, but they put one there anyway.
Yeah, that's true.
Now, I'll ask you this because I'm genuinely curious. What is your usual routing for Ganon's Tower? In standard or open?
I usually like to go for the go right first, and then if you get a small key, keep going right. Otherwise, and then back out before Armos, then go left.
And brightwolfz makes it through the true final boss of this game. That room before Aghanim with the ice and the conveyor belts.
Yeah, and that one, if you make one wrong move, you're kind of toast.
Oh man, and speaking of routing, you're routing through Mire. I had not seen it done that way, but it just makes so much more sense to go left and then up and around through that to the four right at the top there after you've unlocked the chest.
And brightwolfz through Aghanim 2, so let's kick this pig.
Nice. But yeah, that Mire routing, I usually prefer that route when I actually have when I don't have the big key, because you don't have to make the awkward detour just to get the big chest. Usually with the big key, I prefer to grab those 3 left side chests first, make my way over to the big chest, grab the 3 on the right side, and then actually use the hook shot to go across the bridge and grab that first chest you normally grab.
And Ganon with an interesting philosophical musing that I can't necessarily disagree with. If we're not meant to have midnight snacks, why is there a light in the fridge?
I mean, it's true. They should have thought about that.
That's probably to pick up that barbacoa burrito.
Or the Weetabix. And brightwolfz into phase 3. Picks up the torch glitch. Oh no.
Oh, taking a
Falls
fall.
down.
Oh, that really sucks.
That's unfortunate. I don't think any play brightwolfz made during this run was necessarily illogical.
Yeah, not at all. He's followed what he's needed to, as anyone would. And he's going right back into Ganon with 4 hearts. That's a lot of that's very very gutsy, but he's going for it.
Now, I've seen a lot of people say that you can get phase 1 and phase 2 Ganon with Tempered Sword in one cycle. I've never been able to do it. I don't think you actually have the time to. He's still got a fairy.
Oh, okay, good. That makes sense. Yeah, fairy, half magic. He's good. And yeah, I think getting a first phase 1 and 2 Ganon pretty quick. It just depends on where he ends up warping to.
Okay, that could be. That's reasonable.
I think if you get him in a corner, you can kind of bounce off him and get it in pretty quick succession.
Yeah, it's really tricky. Like, NMG runners have their ways of doing it, but frankly, phase 2 Ganon, the way NMG does it just looks so scary.
Yeah, that last warp of Ganon really upset getting on brightwolfz, but he's got it. He's on a phase 4 and getting that glitch.
That torch glitch is so useful.
Oh, it's absolutely key. Especially, you know, low magic and... Okay, he's gonna go for his last shot here. And he nails it.
That's gonna do
GG.
it.
Right, and brightwolfz finishes up with a SRL time of 2 hours, 37 minutes, and 22 seconds.
Good game to you, sir.
And the I'm sorry sort of teasing him from the Triforce. That was a little rough at times, but it was a very, very good scene to watch.
Oh, that was massive amounts of fun to commentate.
Absolutely, there's just so much action and things to see coming up early, and Swamp Palace was just a blast.
Oh yes, oh yes. And I'm one of those weird people that I love full clear Swamp Palace.
Oh yeah, absolutely. I can't not.
I mean, don't get me wrong, Go mode Swamp Palace is crazy amounts of fun, but full clear Swamp Palace is a really great exhibition of how well someone handles necessary precision.
Hey, we're gonna see if we can get brightwolfz in here real quick for an interview before we go off air.
Once again, if you've enjoyed watching this race, give these two runners a follow, Pikapals and brightwolfz.
And another also big follow and big thanks to Draco Falcone for tracking and Skipsy for restreaming.
Oh, absolutely. And Tim Lobo for being my co-commentator.
And right back at you, DM Stewart. Give him a follow. Give you a follow? give you a follow? It looks like we won't be able to get brightwolfz in here. It is getting a bit late, so we do need to send our focus over to a couple other races. We've got going on. Keysanity tournament is running pretty much all month and next month, and for the foreseeable future, all the way to the end, across the Speed Gaming networks of channels and onto the Link to the Best Randomizer channels. You should be able to find a schedule in the chat there.
Yes, there's plenty of races tomorrow. There's plenty of races the rest of this weekend. We've got all kind of races tomorrow. Noon. Let's see. 11 a.m. Noon, 1, 2, 3:30, 4, 5, 6 Eastern. And then Sunday at noon and 1 and 3 and 5 and 6. And then there will be more races next week that aren't scheduled yet because this is a Swiss and they haven't gotten the new pairings yet.
Yeah, and we actually have a race going on Speed Gaming 4. We got a 4-way going on right now. Just started less than an hour ago. So if you're interested, if you're up late, you're interested in some more, you can head over there. Otherwise, I think that we're gonna call it here. It's been a pleasure doing commentary with you tonight.
Thanks, you as well.
And another big GG and congrats to Pikapals for taking the victory in his first match.
Yep, thank you, and
Yes.
thanks for commentating.
All right, and we will see you next time. Have a good night.
Good night.